All right, hello everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? Is everything working? Everything seems to be working all right. We're all set to do the show today. I have not heard from Lee, so I'm not sure what's going on, but I don't think we're doing a show today. So we confirmed doing the show yesterday that we're doing it Wednesday, today at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. Audio and video are fine. That's great. I appreciate all of you showing up. I haven't heard from him. I don't know what's going on. Usually he's here. He's very prompt. So I'm not going to do my segment without him. So I don't know. This isn't a government secrets then. I can actually just answer some of your questions, I guess. But I've texted Lee, I've called him, I've sent him emails, and I haven't heard no response from him at all. So sure Lee's fine. I'm sure he's just busy with something and slipped his mind. So ask me some questions, some government secret questions. I'll answer questions from you for about like 20, 30 minutes. And if Lee doesn't show, then that'll be what's happening. Did you take down the Sound of Freedom streams? Yes, I did. Because the first one, there was just all these tech issues. And then the second, there's just tech issues with all of them. So I didn't want to leave them up there. So yeah, I took those down. I'm hoping to clip that out, but I think there was too many tech issues to make it I haven't been able to see the whole clip. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that a segment. I might have to do that segment again. But what's my opinion of El Salvador? I think I'm thoroughly impressed after having been there and spent there for 10 days and talked to a lot of people, Bitcoiners and a lot of El Salvadorians. They're very happy with the direction. El Salvadorians are very happy with the direction of their country. They're very happy at how safe it is. Not everyone's into Bitcoin, the locals. Some are, some really like it. Some see the value of it. Some don't yet, but they will. Some people really get it. I had dinner with Max and Stacy. I had dinner with them, which was really cool. And I have another, very close to getting the funding for the documentary, which means I'll be down there for about a month or so. So we're just working on finalizing that. But yeah, I think El Salvador is awesome. I mean, it's a developing country. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. But there's actually people coming in there and money coming in there. There's 2 hospitals being built. There's new roads. There's a new library being built with the help of the Chinese government. And there's a lot of business coming in there. So I think it's a country where there's a lot of hope, and there isn't a lot of hope in places I've been to. So that was really cool. What do I think about AOC endorsing Biden? I mean, it's not surprising. She's just completely sold out. I mean, literally, she endorses Biden right after he says, let's send cluster bombs to Ukraine. AOC is worthless. And it's such a disappointment considering how she was fighting the power and all this stuff. But yeah, it's more just evidence that there's no hope for the Democratic Party. Obviously, no hope for the Republican Party. And I don't have a lot of hope for electoral politics. Now, I still vote, but voting is only one of a long list of things that we can all do. I mean, I'll vote for Cornel West. I'm glad he's with the Green Party. I think it's an opportunity for the Green Party to get 12% or more of the vote. I think Cornel West could really capture 15 or 20% of the vote. He could really and help down ballot Greens get elected. That's the big takeaway. Can Cornel West become president of the United States? Well, anything's possible in this insane country, so that could happen. That'd be awesome if it did, but I'm not hanging my hopes on that. I think Cornel West can. I think the realistic possibility of Cornel West is down ballot Greens can win. He'd bring a lot of notoriety to the Green Party. Americans are fed up with both parties. Every American is in agreement that we have a broken political system. How to fix it, where to fix it, with whom to fix it is where the debate comes in, and that's fine. That's reasonable in a democratic society. We're not a real democracy, but so Cornel West could get. If he could get over 12% of the vote, he gets more federal funding. If he gets the Green on 50 states ballots, that's huge. And if some down ballot Greens win as a result, because he'll get a lot of press coverage, and maybe they'll have a debate between the Republican, the Democrat, and Cornel West. That would be cool. I don't know that would happen, but he'll get a lot of press, and down ballot Greens could win. That'd be cool if we got some people in the Congress or the Senate or state assemblies or some governors or mayors or more Greens just got elected. I think that'd be a good thing for American politics overall. Did Lee have to flee the country? Who knows? Can I talk about El Mozote and Elliot Abrams? Yeah, I mean, we'll do El Mozote, the El Mozote Massacre. I don't want to get too much into it because I want to save it as a government secret, but basically it's an awful massacre that happened at the hands of the civil war in El Salvador, as I'm learning, was between the far left, well, that's what they call it, the left, like socialist communist movements. They all got together, and then they were fighting the pro-government, which was the oligarchs, that was backed, of course, by the good old United States of America. And those soldiers committed a massacre of about 800 people in El Mozote. Elliot Abrams, of course, was with Reagan during that time. This was under the Reagan administration. Elliot Abrams has now been appointed to another minion in Biden's rainbow fascism. The cuddly, nice fascism of the Democratic Party. It's not as mean as the Republican fascism. So that's what I'd say about El Mozote right now. I'll go to more when we actually do the episode. How much of an effect do you believe Project Paperclip continues to have on our government? I think it's done. There's probably one little Paperclip's done, one little bad misstep by the CIA, and I think everything's fine. Next question. No. Oh, I think Blaze Silverwolf, that's a great question. And what Lee and I touch on a lot on this show is how a lot of these CIA operations that happened in the 50s and the 60s and 70s are still having, I mean, Operation Paperclip, I think we have Nazis deeply rooted in our government because we brought them over here. I think, like the notion that MK Ultra got shut down and we don't do that anymore is laughable. So it's conceivable that all these operations are still in effect in some way or another. And Paperclip is definitely still affecting this country. So Mexico's the spot, right on. I've heard good things about Mexico. Have you ever seen the movie Metropolis? Yes. Yeah, we watched it in film school. Really weird to see what people in the 20s thought the future might look like, what they got right and what they got wrong, and the working class struggles, etc. Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting to watch Metropolis, watch Buck Rogers. Those are interesting. Yeah, AOC is a careerist. Without AOC, the entire alphabet would fall apart. Very good question. Vote Cornell no matter who. Yeah. Invite Irish freedom fighter Gil O'Teen. Funny. Graham, Lee, you guys are awesome. Thank you for watching the show. We really appreciate it. Send Senator Graham to Ukrainian front lines. I'm down with that. Joe Scarborough, recent opinion piece on how great America is and blame dirty hippies and commies of the left. Paraphrased despite quotes. Funny, this came out after Leslie Van Houten out on parole. Yeah, of course. It's always the hippies' fault. Sadly, AOC is the loudest voice for the whole Congress. She's a joke. Oh, did you see the article that I was quoted in Fox where I was called a liberal comedian? That was funny. Yeah, let me see if I can find that article that my buddy sent me. I want to show you guys. I'll share it on the screen. My buddy sent this to me. He goes, dude, scroll down the article. You're quoted. And I was like, what? They quoted my tweet. Here, let me show that to you guys. This is awesome. I got quoted in a Fox News article. The biggest thing that offended me is they called me a liberal. And I tweeted at Fox News. I was like, please call me an anti-war pro-labor socialist. And Dave Anthony, buddy of mine who's been on the show a bunch, goes, whatever. He just quote, whatever, lib. Call me a lib. So great. Yeah, let's do a segment on the article. All right, great question. Great. Yeah, Lee's not here. We'll do a segment. Where is it? Oh, it's not sharing the screen. There we go. All right, I'll do a segment. We'll just do a regular segment. All right, we'll do a segment. Let me change everything. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Well, you know, I've been very critical of AOC and the fraud squad. And most recently, I sent out a tweet when she endorsed Joe Biden that I was very critical of. And I got quoted in a Fox News article. This is my first time ever being in a Fox News article, although they called me a liberal comedian. That was the most disappointing thing. But let's read this Fox article. Progressives tar and feather Ocasio-Cortez endorsing Biden's second term. We'll read through it. So progressive Twitter users blasted squad member AOC, Democrat, this week after she endorsed President Joe Biden. Leftists on the platform accused the lawmaker of selling out her progressive and anti-war values with her decision to support the second presidential term of the Democratic Party leader, who recently just approved of providing controversial cluster bombs for Ukraine's war effort. So wow, Fox News is now anti-war. Critics accused the Congresswoman of maliciously selling out working class voters with the endorsement. So they showed this Pod Save America. That was their tweet. She said, I believe given that field, yes. There are areas I think were quite strong. Like what? Oh, drilling permits. She's really strong on that. Biden's strong on that. He came out right out of the gate with the American Rescue Plan. That's not, I haven't been, it hasn't helped me at all. Brianna Joy Gray endorsing Joe Biden is now a betrayal of progressive interests. It was true of Bernie Sanders' endorsement and it's true of AOC. Most Democrats don't want Biden to run. Bernie and AOC are tragically out of step with the movement and the moment. Wow, Brianna Joy Gray. So she said that. And then there was, why endorse now? At the very least, they could be asking for commitments in exchange of their endorsement. Even better, they should be using Marianne RFK campaigns to highlight the failures of the Biden and the Dems. Yeah, that's the other thing too. The squad never does. They never say, if you want my endorsement, we need this and this and this. They just give them the blanket endorsement because Trump or whatever. So then here's yours truly, everybody. This was my tweet. There's my tweet. Isn't that fun? Yes, Biden has done a good job if you like drilling permits on federal land and cluster bombs. So then I said, podcast host and liberal comedian. Come on, Fox. I'm not a liberal comedian. I'm an anti-war, pro-labor socialist. Comedian Graham Elwood wrote a sarcastic reply to Ocasio-Cortez's endorsement of Biden, tweeting, yes, Biden has done a good job if you like drilling permits on federal land and cluster bombs. This is exciting. We did it, you guys. We got into Fox News. Just please, 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 Fox News, just call me a socialist. Don't call me liberal. That was the most insulting thing you could say to me. Calling me a liberal. Revolutionary Socialist MMA. There's not enough anger at Bernie Sanders and AOC for taking working class money, lying to desperate people, and selling them out in malicious fashion. That's a great quote. So he got quoted, and then that's the article. So very excited, you guys, that I got quoted in Fox News. But let's hope someday they realize. And I tweeted at them. I tweeted the article and I said, thank you, Fox News, for putting me in there, but please don't ever call me a liberal again. So thank you. You in the chat, you guys are proud of me. We did it, you guys. We all did this together. This is a win for all of us. I hope. I would love to be on any of these conservative outlets. I would love to be on any of these conservative outlets. Because I would say, yeah, I don't like Joe Biden. I don't like the Republicans. I don't like the Democrats. Here's why. And I'm not a liberal. Make them clear. I'm an anti-war, pro-labor socialist. And if they try to socialism, what are you, like Stalin? I'll be like, no, socialism is, socialism, if you're afraid of socialism, then you should be afraid of the police department, the fire department. Schools are socialist. Parks, libraries, street cleaning, trash pickup, the post office, that's a big commie organization. Everyone can just send and receive mail. That's very commie socialist. Yeah, Social Security, ooh, that's pretty pinko. So I would just make it clear, you don't have to be afraid of socialism. It's already in much of our lives. And under socialism, I'm not talking about the socialism where the government tells you what job to have. I'm just talking about equal distribution of public money, where you can be rich under socialism, just no one can be poor. And rather than send all of our money to ridiculous wars that both parties vote for, why don't we do this crazy thing and give the money actually to the people? The trillions of dollars we spend on war and Wall Street bailouts, America should have zero homeless people. Everyone should have free health care. We could have the best schools. We could have free universities for the trillions of dollars just that we wasted in Afghanistan. I mean, so Fox News, I'd love to come on your show. I'm not afraid to come on your show. We can talk about a whole myriad of things. We can talk about how I'm a anti-war, pro-labor socialist comedian that went to Afghanistan and Iraq to entertain the United States military. So you can't accuse me of not loving the country. Your move, Fox News. I'll come on your show, Tucker Carlson. I'll go on anybody's show because I know that the research bringing me the conviction of my beliefs actually are the best for the majority of Americans. And getting caught in this right-left red-blue nonsense keeps the ruling elites in power. So everybody tweeted Fox News to have me on their show. My comedy special, Manifest It, has been largely censored, and it's a special that makes fun of both parties. It makes fun of the war machine. It makes fun of billionaires. It makes fun of liberals. Makes fun of conservatives. Makes fun of Trump. It makes fun of Biden. So, and I've been highly censored for that. So, have me on. I think, you know, and all of you watching this, reach out to any conservative shows. I'll go on any show, man. I'll go on any show. So go to grahamello.com, support what I'm doing, and watch my special, Manifest It, because it's very bipartisan, and it's bipartisan in terms of how awful our political system is. And yeah, thanks for watching. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. That's how we make Gotham great again, and shave your knuckles for justice. Darian. Ron Placone is taking my audience. That's funny. We need China bribes. America's purple. Granny petrol. Now we need China to help the U.S. help the poor. That's funny. Yeah. It's all going to Graham's head. Yes, you're right. You guys are awesome. So there's that segment, I guess. No word from Lee, guys. I don't know what, something happened. So I guess he'll be all right. He's dead busy, and no, like, dude, sorry, I'm like, he hasn't responded. So I hope he'll be all right. Everything's gonna be all right. You know what? I'll do the Sound of Freedom segment again, and then we'll call it a night. My apartment is getting hot. All right, here we go. Here we go. New segment coming up. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the BAM Political Vigilante, bringing truth to the citizens of Gotham. So, if you've been watching the show for a while, or if you're brand new, I'll bring you on this. I'm not right wing. I'm an anti-war, pro-labor socialist. I have been highly critical of QAnon. I think it's a psyop. QAnon says like 60, 70% some truth, but there's a lot of crazy stuff in there. I've covered the Epstein case very extensively for the last 4 years. I've shown ties to the Clintons, ties to Trump. Trump's been on there, Epstein plane 5 times. Bill Clinton 26, Hillary Clinton twice. Republicans and Democrats have ties to Epstein. I'm bringing that up because there's a new movie out called Sound of Freedom from Jim Caviezel about this actual Homeland Security officer, Tim Ballard, who went into Latin America and he became aware of sex trafficking as part of his job and went to like free kids. And it's based on a true story of how he freed a couple hundred kids, right? And the media, CNN had this guy on, and I tried to do the clip once before, and when I showed the clip, it literally crashed my computer. Going to this website, showing this clip of the CNN guy saying that the movie, basically, the mainstream media, the corporate media, is saying, and I hate using this term, the liberal side of the corporate media is basically smearing this movie and Jim Caviezel as just some right-wing QAnon conspiracy porn. And it is, I saw the movie. Look, and to give you a little backdrop, I hosted a movie podcast called Comedy Film Nerds with my good friend Chris Mancini for 10 years. We wrote a book together called The Comedy Film Nerd Guide to Movies. It's available on Amazon. You can buy it. Where we talked about movies. I have a degree in film, so I've watched thousands of movies. And this is a very good movie. It's a very well-made movie, and it says based on a true story. And I've watched a lot of Hollywood movies to know that can be loose. They can be loose with that. But based on the interviews I've seen with Tim Ballard and the footage at the end of the movie, this is fairly accurate in terms of he went into Central America and freed a bunch of kids. What is really astounding to me is the response. So they had this guy on CNN. Just look up CNN review Sound of Freedom, because if I bring it up, it literally crashed my computer and I pulled my segments. My computer was working fine, and I started live streaming, and everything went south. But I want to read you this article in the Rolling Stone where they completely minimize the movie and they say stuff that is insane, that's not true. And I'm going to show you, they try to say human trafficking is exaggerated. This is the words you're going to read in a second from Rolling Stone. And I'm going to show you the statistics from the State Department. So, Sound of Freedom is a superhero movie for dads with brainworms. So I'm an anti-war, pro-labor socialist. I think QAnon is bullshit. I do not like Trump at all. I don't like Trump. I don't like Biden. I would never vote for Trump, nor did I vote for Biden. But apparently I have brainworms because of this movie. And I sat in the theater when the movie was over, and I was bawling because I know about human trafficking because I've studied it on this show. Okay? And I've had on this show former child crimes investigator, honorably retired from the Phoenix Police Department, my friend Aaron Oldenburg, who was a child crimes investigator. So he knows how significant child exploitation films, which is a part of child sex trafficking. So I've had experts on the show talking about this. And again, I'm not a right-winger. I believe in climate change. While I don't like Joe Biden, I don't think he stole this election. I think Joe Biden cheated, and I think Donald Trump cheated, and Biden just out-cheated Donald Trump. I think January 6th was a real event, even though the FBI was involved. I think there's a lot of dangerous right-wing nationalists in this country. I have to reiterate this stuff because I'm going to get labeled as a right-wing QAnon guy. Based on a true story, I heard from somewhere across the theater. Oh shit, they're going to make me log in. I don't want to subscribe to this bullshit. Hold on. Here we go. Jesus, it's freezing up again. All right. Stop sharing. Hold on. We'll do this. Okay. So here's the article in Rolling Stone. So okay, it's a short article. Is everyone in the theater, you know, the season movie this phrase is a joke based on a true story. We know that cinema will stretch almost any truth about the breaking point, and the rank and sincerity of such pronouncement is the foundation of the prankish opening titles of Fargo. This crowd, I could tell. So he's just saying anyone who went to the movie is a nutbag. God damn it. Makes me fucking. I don't want to fucking. I'm not paying for this. I'm not paying for this. God damn it. Jesus. Okay. Okay, so in this article, Sound of Freedom is a superhero movie marked with dads with brainworms. So what this article is, and they're going to ask me to pay for it, which I don't want to do. But it goes on to say, and I put this on my Twitter, that in the article, and go read it for yourself, this is a quote from the article, that this movie, Sound of Freedom, is, quote, fomenting moral panic for years over this grossly exaggerated epidemic of child sex trafficking. Those are the words from Rolling Stone. A grossly exaggerated epidemic of child trafficking. Okay? That's what Rolling Stone said. So they think it's just some QAnon nonsense. So let's all go to state.gov. This is the US Department of State's website. Okay? Not QAnon.gov.tednugent. Gunshow.psycho.January 6th was real or whatever. Like, this is, okay? This is a statement from Anthony J. Blinken, Secretary of State, Democrat, appointed by President Joe Biden. Just so we're all clear, National Human Trafficking Prevention Month, which was January of 2023. This is, again, according to the State Department's website, run by Democrats currently. Human trafficking is a crime that deprives millions of people their dignity and freedom. An estimated According to the United States Department of State, an estimated 27.6 million are currently victims of trafficking worldwide, and sadly, many of them are often hidden right in front of us. To properly tackle this crime, it will take a commitment from each of us to end trafficking. Targeted awareness and outreach efforts are essential. So what this movie is doing is what Anthony Blinken, appointed by Joe Biden, is telling us all to do, to get the awareness out there. That's all this movie is doing. One of the things you learn in this movie is that it's like $100 billion a year business. I've heard people say it's a $34 billion a year business, which that's a pretty high number, but 100 is obscene. What also you learn in this movie, which is again backed by statistics from the United States of America's federal government, is that the number one place that children from third world countries are trafficked to is, you guessed it, the United States of America. I didn't know that. They're trafficked to here. People are trafficked out of, American citizens, American kids are trafficked out of here, but a lot of kids are trafficked to here because this country has money. So the Rolling Stone is calling this problem grossly exaggerated, a problem that the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, says in a letter is 27.6 million people worldwide. That's not an exaggeration. That doesn't sound like, it'd be one thing was like, oh, it's 1,500 people and they're making a movie about it. Okay, 1,500 is bad and it's sorry for those, but it's not a grossly exaggerated. Hey, that's a grossly exaggerated epidemic if it's only 1,500. It's 27.6 million people. Again, according to the United States Secretary of State. This month is National Human Trafficking Prevention Month, a time for people, organizations, communities, and federal organizations to join in our efforts to combat all forms of trafficking, including sex trafficking and forced labor. Which is, again, what the movie does at the end of the movie. Jim Caviezel comes on and says, guys, we need you to spread the word on this. He says this at the end of the movie. So everyone in the theater, he's like, put this out there, spread the word. And that's why you're seeing a lot of this on social media, because he's asking everyone, like the Secretary of State is doing, to spread the word. And people say, well, Jim Caviezel has crazy QAnon ideas. Wait a minute now. Tom Cruise, who's a Scientologist, Scientology was listed by the Cult Awareness Network. The Cult Awareness Network then got infiltrated and bought up by Scientologists and disbanded. Tom Cruise is allowed to make Top Gun Maverick, which is a pro-war recruiting movie. And no one questions Tom Cruise's beliefs. Tom Cruise has some pretty outlandish beliefs. But hey, his movie makes $1 billion at the box office, so he's off the hook. But Jim Caviezel might have some, I don't probably agree with everything Jim Caviezel believes in. But who cares if Jim Caviezel has some outlandish views on certain issues? But shouldn't we all be in agreement that sex trafficking is bad? So is that what the Rolling Stone is saying? Is that sex trafficking not that big of a deal? It's a, quote, grossly exaggerated? CNN is downplaying it? So CNN and Rolling Stone think that it's not that big of a deal? That offends me. That offends me. As a vegetarian that drives an electric car that believes climate change is real, that offends me. As someone that's glad we have gay marriage, that offends me. So engaging survivors, individuals who've experienced human trafficking, as partners is necessary to develop effective anti-trafficking policies and programs that are victim-centered and survivor-centered, trauma-informed, and culturally competent. Those things are all abandoned by the Rolling Stone article. Imagine you're a sex trafficking survivor and you just read that the Rolling Stone is like, oh, this, and you hear about Sound of Freedom and you go, good, they're speaking up about this. Hopefully they'll prevent kids from getting trafficked. And then the Rolling Stone writes, it's grossly exaggerated. The Department of State's commitment to these efforts remains unwavering. Unlike Rolling Stone. And this month, we recommend our new ambassador at large to monitor and combat trafficking in persons, Cindy Dyer. She will lead the department's global efforts to advance the fight against human trafficking. To that end, the department funds projects around the world in furtherance of preventing and combating human trafficking and supports organizations tackling the issue in new and creative ways, like let's make a Hollywood movie to get the awareness out of it. Hollywood makes movies that get awareness, they get wide releases, millions of people can learn about something. I learned more about World War I because of Hollywood movies that have come out in the last couple of years, like 1917 or We Shall Not Grow Old, or They Shall Not Grow Old, the documentary made by Peter Jackson. We regularly elevate the issue of human trafficking in our conversations with foreign governments, as well as through our annual Trafficking in Persons report. Interagency coordination, multilateral engagement, partnerships with civil society, which is regular people, and the private sector, like a movie company, a distributor. I saw the movie at an AMC movie chain, very popular movie chain around America. And through implementation of our part of the National Action Plan to combat human trafficking. Through all these steps and more, we are determined to combat the scourge in all of its forms. But the Rolling Stone doesn't think it's that big of a deal. So why corporate media? And what you're doing, corporate media, is you're actually giving the right wing ammunition to say the media is liberal and it supports. See, the right wing's notion is that only Democrats do trafficking. Only the Democrats were involved in Epstein, which I've shown you evidence that that's not true. This helps that argument, by the way, Rolling Stone, when you write stuff like this. Why isn't this article, this is a really important movie that people need to see? You may not agree with all of Jim Caviezel's opinions as an actor and as a person, but this movie's pretty important, and it's a well-made movie. I've watched a lot of bad movies. I know what a bad movie is. If this would have been a bunch of right-wing QAnon nonsense, I would have been like, oh, God. I've seen some Tom Cruise movies where they're trying to force in the Scientology way of thinking. I'm like, here we go. And there's a line there where like, these are all, we got to protect all of God's children. And they're like, oh, that's QAnon. We're all children of God is QAnon? I'm no atheist. I'm not an atheist. And I'm not a fan of organized religion. I was raised Catholic. You know, another organization that protected pedophiles. What's wrong with saying we're all God's children? I think we're all God's children. Does that mean make me a wingnut? And Jim Caviezel's talked about androchrome, right? Which is this thing of like, it's like virgin's blood. And it's that, there's a lot of crazy conspiracies on the internet about that. I don't know about that, but I will say this. Tim Ballard, investigator, has said he's come across some rings where they're doing human organ harvesting. And selling of human organs on the black market is a multi-billion-dollar business. Well, that needs to be talked about. And again, that doesn't make Jim Caviezel a nutbag. If Jim Caviezel thinks people are drinking virgin's blood and they're all demon worshipers, I don't know, maybe. But I don't know about demon worship. I don't know about that. I don't know if there's this whole secret society of demonic people. I don't know. But I will tell you this. Raping and selling a child is fucking evil. Any way you slice it. You can say it's the devil. You can say it's just people are evil. You can say the human race is fucking got some psychos sick. Whatever you want to call it. It's evil. It's evil. So the minimization of child trafficking by CNN and Rolling Stone is offensive. It helps keep trafficking like this problem that especially Americans think, oh, it's some awful thing that happens in third world countries or way far away. It helps fuel that denial. Oh, it's not in my neighborhood. It's not here. So when you see something that's odd, you see an adult with a kid and it looks weird, you think, wow, that wouldn't happen here. No, it's happening in America. Go see the movie. Go watch it for yourself. And again, I'll be on any right-wing media, and we'll start the interview with me talking about all the things I don't agree with them on, and then we'll go into why we all are in agreement that child sex trafficking is awful and something needs to be done about it. And when people say Trump was going to round up other, no, he didn't. He could have appointed a special prosecutor, and he didn't. When Ghislaine Maxwell got arrested, he said, "I wish her well." So that would be my argument that Trump was going to save all the kids. No, he's been friends with Epstein and Maxwell since the 90s. He at the very least knew what they were up to and let it happen and didn't care. Support what we do. This video will probably get taken down. I've been demonetized. But go see for yourself. That's why I put it up there, guys. You can look at the State Department's website on human trafficking. It's a quick internet search, and you can find this Rolling Stone article. Human trafficking is horrific. And if I was the president, I would end it. I would end it. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. This is the first time the corporate mainstream media has tried to minimize and cover up pedophile, sex trafficking, and all this other shit. Yeah, I will never drop this issue. And people that want me to drop it, I question them. I was abused as a kid, so this is very close to me. My abusers were female. A lot more female pedophiles in the world than society is aware of, let alone wants to admit. And as child crimes investigator Eric Oldenburg had said, he goes, predators can be anybody, male, female, gay, straight, all different walks of life, all different socioeconomic. He goes, but the rich pedophiles, they got the money to cover this up and make this happen. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. Shave your knuckles for justice. All right, folks, that's our show. It's supposed to be a government secret. I don't know what's up with Lee. I hope he's okay. I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he's fine. He just got busy. He's going to call me and say, dude, so a bit extreme, but let's just say things happened when I was a kid and that made me a little more aggressive about it. I hear you, brother. Yeah. Faith engenders ignorance. Intuitive beliefs over evidence, logic, and data supports ignorance, and then ignorance is turned into oppression. Yeah. Go watch the movie for yourself. Whenever missionaries of any type come to my door, I school them in how they are not real Christians and have no idea what they believe. Yeah, sorry, Lee. I don't know. We were supposed to do government secrets today, and he just no-showed, so I'm sure he's all right. He just got busy with something. I apologize. So I just answered a couple questions and just did a couple of regular political vigilante segments. So support what we're doing. Go to grahamelwood.com, watch my comedy special, Manifest It. I've got 2 tour dates coming up. July 27th, actually, we're doing a show in Santa Monica called Banned in Florida. It's me and Rob Cohn and Mona Sheikh and James Adomian, all socialist lefty comedians that would be banned in Florida. That's July 27th in Santa Monica, California. August 3rd, I'm headlining Mic Drop Comedy in San Diego. So August 3rd, San Diego, July 27th, Santa Monica. Go to grahamelwood.com, get your tickets. Come out to shows, guys. The more people that come out to the live shows, the more I can do them. If we sell a lot of tickets, then that comedy club will say, oh, we want you to come back. So if you're anywhere in San Diego, August 3rd, come to the show. Again, go to grahamelwood.com. And you can buy tickets on that link. Buy them now. It's less than a month away. My birthday is August 5th, so you come out. And it's a cool comedy club in San Diego. So if you live anywhere in Southern California, come to the August 3rd show in San Diego. And support everything we're doing. Yeah, order your packages before the UPS strike. I do have merch available at grahamelwood.com. But yeah, come to a live show. Come to the show in San Diego, guys. Come to Santa Monica and San Diego. If you're in LA, July 27th, it's at the Crow Comedy in Santa Monica. It's awesome. It's actually right off the light rail at Bergamont Station if you like taking public transportation. There's also plenty of free parking there. And Mic Drop Comedy's in San Diego, which is great. So, all right, everybody. We'll be back with government secrets hopefully next week. Have a great week. We'll talk soon. Thanks, everybody.